Historically, police have responded to crime challenges with police-only responses. I have said since I was appointed chief that first I would start by listening. Also, that I envision a citywide approach to violent crime. Last Thursday, I met with a group of community members in South Kansas City in the first series of listening sessions. I reiterated to those in attendance, this is not the Chief Graves' plan, nor the KCPD plan. It should be considered a Kansas City collective plan on addressing violent crime in our city, where leaders and the community work together on solutions. Everyone in Kansas City should care about violent crime, and we all have to work together to stop it, to make our city safer. Standing with me here today is the embodiment of that citywide approach. I would like to introduce KCPD Deputy Chiefs Luis Ortiz and Joseph Mabin, City Manager Brian Platt, U.S. Marshal Western District of Missouri, Scott Sealing, and Supervisor Michael Stokes, ATF Special Agent in Charge Bernard Hansen, FBI Special Agent in Charge Charles Dayub, Kansas City Crime Commission President Rick Armstrong, from the Ad Hoc Group Against Crime, Pastor Brandon Mims, from Mothers in Charge, Rosalind Temple, from KC Common Good, Carly Mitchell, from the Center for Conflict Resolution, Karen Slaughter, from the Maddie Road Center, John Fierro, from the neighborhood, Pat Clark, and those who will be speaking today, Jackson County Prosecutor Jean Peters Baker, from Partners for Peace, Melissa Johnson, City Councilwoman Raina Park Shaw. We have Director of Public Works Michael Shaw. Speaking on his behalf will be City Manager Brian Platt and KCPD Major Kari Thompson. These partners and many more and KCPD have been very intentional over the last month working together to reduce violent crime near 35th and Prospect. And this came on the heels of a violent 3-day stretch where multiple people were shot, some of whom lost their lives. Yesterday and today, we expanded our efforts to other areas of the city using the same model. We started this week, KCPD, along with our partners here, with a violent crime reduction initiative. We have been out in our neighborhoods. One of our goals is to show the community we see criminal activity happening in their neighborhoods, and we are responding to help. Also, that we see other concerns affecting the quality of life in their respective neighborhoods. KCPD and our partners are out in our neighborhoods talking with community members, offering resources. KCPD will also be following up on active warrants and making contact with residents in the area of locations identified where violent crime is occurring, and even in areas where serious crashes are prevalent. An emphasis will be on community outreach and enforcement of violent offenders in an effort to deter and decrease violent criminal activity, making Kansas City safer. In choosing where to focus these efforts, we applied a place-based analysis to determine the issues affecting Kansas Cityans' day-to-day quality of life and safety. We know areas where violent crime takes place are oftentimes where there are citizen-generated reports to the city of needs for services. Through 311 city data, we know where people report potholes, abandoned houses, trash, and other blight. This correlation is why it's so important to involve all of our community partners here. Together, along with residents in Kansas City to feel proud of their neighborhoods and safe in their homes. This initiative will be a model for crime reduction strategies moving forward. I would like for our partners to tell you more about the collaboration. Now is Jean Peters Baker from the Jackson County Prosecutor's Office.
I was part of a small team that did that work yesterday. I think it's important for me to actually have my boots on the ground as well and do that kind of work, walking up to people's doors and seeing who might be willing to engage, who might be willing to talk to you. And one of the key things I've learned in this job is when you approach somebody, no matter who they are and where they are from and what their life experiences are, if you approach them with a degree of humility and understanding and a desire to want to know them, the door generally opens to you. The dialogue generally opens. So that's how we approached yesterday, with a little multidisciplinary team of a prosecutor, police officer, and social worker, so that we could see what services perhaps we might be able to offer those who are really in need and want to get off this path that they're on. And while we need focused arrests and prosecutions, that is part of this strategy, It's needed because sometimes you have to remove individuals from our community that are causing so much harm and so much damage. But this model alone, I wish it would work, but it doesn't. Not alone. Not alone. So we can't solve this problem of violence just by being tougher and tougher and tougher. Toughness is needed, but arrest and prosecution cannot be where the story begins and where it ends. So while all of us seek to do our work more fair, more evenly, we really want to be very focused on those who cause harm in this city. So we're engaging also in this help model, which also came about during those NOVA days, of how might we also engage and offer help. We've learned a lot from those early days of KC NOVA of how to actually offer help, who to engage in that effort with us. And it's part of our overall strategy to prevent and reduce violence, combat violence in this community. So I'm really grateful to be part of this team. I'm really grateful that all of you are here, that you've heard a little bit about what we've done in the last few days, but also know this is just the beginning of not a new collaboration, but probably one that's being restarted at the helm of Chief Graves. I'm really grateful to be here. So.
Good morning, everyone. As Chief Graves stated, my name is Melissa Johnson, and I currently serve as Mayor Quentin Lucas's Director of Public Safety. And unfortunately, the mayor could not be here with us today, but his office is honored to stand with Chief Graves and all of the other aforementioned partners for this coordinated effort to remove dangerous offenders off of our streets and restore hope to some of our most vulnerable neighborhoods. Partners for Peace is a collaboration with the City of Kansas City, Kansas City Police Department, Jackson County Prosecutor's Office, Combat, and dozens of organizations that utilizes real-time police intelligence to connect those imminently at risk of committing violence to restorative social services, the help that Jean Petersbaker was just talking about. We offer everything from grief and trauma counseling, livable wage job training and opportunities, rent and utility assistance, free legal assistance, and mentorship, amongst other offerings as well. And while I am very, very proud to stand here with everybody behind me today, I am most proud to stand with all of you watching, because a true collaborative effort requires the participation of every single Kansas City resident that is ready to say enough. Enough mothers have lost their children of all ages. Enough people are too scared to walk around their own neighborhoods. And enough of living in constant fear that violence may land at your doorstep or affect your family. So yesterday, in partnership with the Community Engagement Division of the Kansas City Police Department, we handed out these pamphlets to as many homes and as many people that were willing to engage with us. So if you see something, say something. If you know that someone has fallen on hard times and may be at risk of committing criminal activity, have them call Partners for Peace. That number is 816-775-2525. Again, 816-775-2525, to be connected to a social worker and life-altering restorative help. As Jean just mentioned, it is a new day in Kansas City. And the theme of this new day is togetherness. Our Kansas City Police Department and our prosecutors are working together. Kansas City Police Department officers and the community are working together. Now we need all of our neighbors, all of our community members to also work together to restore peace to our beloved city and create a safer and more equitable city for everybody. And again, the number for Partners for Peace is 816-775-2525. And I thank you for your time this morning.
Good morning, everyone. I am 5th District Councilwoman Raina Park Shaw, and it is an honor to be here, standing with all of these amazing committed individuals and representing all of the organizations and the neighborhoods working together to address our violent crimes here in Kansas City. It's already been said that many in our community have said enough is enough. Well, a few months ago, Kansas City City Council said enough is enough. And we made a historical investment of $30 million over the next 5 years to prevent violence, to prevent the root causes of violence. And we just started about the beginning of May, so a couple of weeks ago, really trying to work aggressively under the leadership of City Manager Brian Platt to get those dollars out into the community, into those grassroots organizations' hands who have been instrumental in having success in reducing violent crimes but didn't have the capacity to expand. And so I will caution you or ask you to look over the next several weeks for additional RFPs that will be out on the street as we are working diligently to make sure that those dollars get out into the community, the neighborhoods, the faith groups, the small businesses that are working in the community to address this. This collaboration is huge for Kansas City, as we are unfortunately seeing unprecedented numbers. We were on a track of having our worst year yet. But I am confident that with all of us partners working together, that we will make an impact on our violent crimes and homicides in Kansas City. And I have to applaud the chief for bringing all of us together. Thank you so much, first of all, for listening to the community, and thank you for acting on it. The Kansas City Council, and I have to acknowledge my colleague, Kevin O'Neill, who is here with me today. The Kansas City Council is listening as well. We know across our city, we have the #1 priority that individuals are listing in every district is they want safe, thriving neighborhoods. And we are committed to doing that, which is why this intense focus on doing things like making sure that we address the blight, the land bank properties, making sure that they're mowed, making sure that those abandoned properties are torn down, making sure that we're fixing our sidewalks, fixing our streets, a myriad of items that these neighborhoods really needed all along. But we now are focused on making sure that we can address the specific issues in those neighborhoods, because the beauty about this program is that it focuses on improving the areas, because I think data shows that crime happens in areas where people think nobody cares. Well, we're here to show that we do care, and us working together to ensure that the city departments are working together, focused on all of those issues that have plagued our neighborhoods for years. These neighborhoods where we see the violent crimes, the highest amount of violent crimes, will get the attention that they have been asking for and the attention that they deserve in a focused manner. So I'm so glad and honored to be here today and to be a part of this team, and look forward to seeing our improved statistics over the months to come. Thank you.
Everyone. Studies show that the neighborhood environment directly affects the propensity for unwanted activity. And so on the city side, we're doing what we can to make sure that our neighborhoods and our streets and our communities look and feel safe and comfortable. We're replacing all of our 90,000 streetlights in this city with LEDs, which provide better lighting. We're focusing that in areas of high crime and unwanted activity. We're planting 10,000 trees over the next 3 years. We're resurfacing a record amount of streets and filling potholes like we never have before. We're repairing sidewalks like we never have before. We've collected thousands of pounds of trash from just the east side alone in the last few months, and we've got a lot more to do. In fact, we've got a neighborhood cleanup coming May 20th on the east side, and we've already had some already this year. These things go such a long way to, as Councilwoman Park Shaw said, to make our neighborhoods feel safer, to make sure that unwanted activity doesn't feel like it can grow and fester in some of these areas, but also to make our neighborhoods more comfortable and just improve quality of life for all of us. Thank you very much.
Good morning. We love Kansas City. The Community Engagement Division is the division of the community. We are the division of Kansas City. The community engagement is a long-term professional approach to addressing crime reduction. The Community Engagement Division was created to intentionally galvanize our community's outreach, create and bolster consistent efforts, messaging, and relationship building, and providing sustainment. This is what we accomplished yesterday. The men and women of the Community Engagement Division conducted over 400 residence checks with the citizens of Kansas City. We passed out over 3,000 flyers regarding police services, Partners for Peace, Crime Stoppers, trash and bulky item pickup, and our upcoming old school block party. What we accomplished yesterday is going to reverberate and make waves throughout our city. We are excited for the future of this city, and the partnerships that we are building will truly make us a Kansas City united.